Newcastle United fans probably only started taking any notice of Robert Lee when their local Premier League rivals Middlesbrough began chasing him so hard. Borough boss Lenny Lawrence knew Lee's potential inside out. He'd been Lee's manager for most of his career at Charlton, as the attacking midfield player became one of the mainstay of the Londoners' repeated survival in the top flight. But Newcastle's manager was another Robert Lee fan. When Kevin Keegan moved in, Lee showed no concern about turning his back on instant Premier League status. It cost Keegan £700,000 to take the confirmed London and North for the first time. But one club Robert left the capital with the very best wishes of his former teammates. They knew quietly spoken Robert had earned his crack at the big time, and Newcastle fans were soon to discover just why the former England under-21 international had prompted such genuine respect and admiration. At 26, when he signed for Newcastle, Lee was a man whose career was ready for takeoff. Within 24 hours of being snatched from the Teessiders, he was lining up against the Borough in an eventful, though ultimately goalless, Coca-Cola League Cup tie. It somehow wouldn't be Lee's style to burst onto the scene with all guns blazing. On his league debut at Peterborough, he produced an early sign of what was to come by homing in on goal to hit the post. He was soon in front of a bigger audience live on TV at Brentford. He started the move that produced United's second goal, carrying the ball purposefully through midfield. And he so nearly finished it too, crashing the ball against the crossbar till Gavin Peacock made sure of the points. His first goal eventually arrived as Newcastle pushed Premier League Chelsea all the way at Stamford Bridge. The game ended in a narrow defeat and exit from the League Cup. Lee once again making his mark away from the headlines. St James's Park had to wait till late November against Watford to salute a goal from their expensive signing. He was the first to react when Gavin Peacock failed to cash in from the penalty spot. A more difficult goal than perhaps it looked. It was in the new year that all Robert Lee's low-key progress under Kevin Keegan and Terry McDermott's influence suddenly seemed to burst to the fore, as Peterborough were just one team to find out. Lee was at the heart of another commanding home performance. He suddenly arrived from nowhere to volley Newcastle into the league. Then there was no stopping him. One incident involving big defender Kevin Scott captured Lee's influence. When the number 5 joined the attack, Lee raced to keep the move going. A turn and perfect cross to the far post, all in one swoop, set up another chance via Peacock. Pity it didn't fall to a striker. But Lee still had the final say, storming through the middle to crash in a goal that any outright striker would be proud to call his own. That could only have reminded United fans that Kevin Keegan had bought much more than a right winger. Lee turned in a man-of-the-match performance against multi-million-pound Derby County. United spent the whole game chasing an equaliser. It was Lee out wide who provided the crucial run and pass that brought them level in the last moments. You just seem to have fit into the team perfectly. Was it an easy team to get into?
Yes, I think there's so many quality players, right throughout the team. He's bought tremendously well. Even the players that he had here before that, Gavin and that, it's been so easy to fit in. Everyone's been so helpful just to fit into the team play. I couldn't wish for it better.
It's a terribly flexible, mobile sort of team as well. I mean, 1 minute you're out wide, you like to play through the middle, you're up the front there, and you're not the only player that moves around a lot like that.
No, I think we've got a few players who are mobile. Everybody's happy on the ball. Obviously, it keeps teams guessing whether I'm going to play up front or wide, or whether Clark is going to play up front or be on the front too. Just keeps them guessing, and I think it helps to have that sort of mobility in your team.
Lee's instincts in front of goal were perfectly timed at Tranmere. Rovers were promotion rivals, and the game at the end of a long and demanding spell of away fixtures was seen as a key test of Newcastle's championship credentials. Newcastle passed their examination, with Lee getting top marks.
Not out of play though. Mongol, Beresford. Lovely ball over the top there. Now Lee Clark, can he get round the back of the defence here? There's a bit of space opened up. Lee Clark looking for the shot and finished off, and it's a goal there. Robert Lee picks up the pieces. 1-0 to Newcastle. North East 4 Dealers Award goes to Stephen Howie. But now we could be finishing off in style. Robert Lee. Lee looking to finish here. and he strolls it in. Robert Lee, his second of the game. Keegan's on his feet. It's 3-0. The fans are dancing. It's goodbye Tranmere, and Newcastle right back in top gear and finishing in style.
When Gavin Peacock picked up a bad injury, the main responsibility for helping David Kelly in attack seemed to fall to Lee. 7 goals in a 7-game spell showed his response. With Andy Cole now established alongside Kelly, Lee could return to his deadliest role, supporting the front men either through the middle or from a wider position. Sometimes a supplier of scoring opportunities, or a player who could take them himself. His strength on the ball made him formidable against defenders. It was his power and alertness that saw him carry the ball from deep at Grimsby and then lay it on perfectly for Andy Cole to score the goal that inched United nearer the Premier League. It seemed only right that Lee should join the 2 hat-trick heroes on the final score sheet against Leicester. It was another typical Lee move, strength and skill. For all his success, Lee must still have a major regret. The one that got away. It could have been the goal of a lifetime, a 75-yard stroke of genius against Brentford, but the whistle had gone for offside in Newcastle's favour. Even the referee seemed mortified it couldn't stand, but Lee might just do it again one day.